What's up, everybody? Well, I decided to go ahead and take a hike this winter, and my first stop was Grotto Falls, which is in Highlight Canyon, just south of Bozeman. Now, a lot of people in Bozeman like to come up here and hike all the time, but this place is totally cool. In the summertime, it's actually really epic. There's a lake at the end of the trail and 7 waterfalls on the way up. This one happens to be the first one along the trail, so I'll go ahead and show it to you real quick. And yes, it is partially frozen. Make sure you got your good footwear and all that stuff. Went ahead and brought my bag with me this time just in case. You know, you always want to make sure that you're supplied really well when you come out to a place like this. But you can see all the water down there. It's still flowing because everybody knows when water has current, regardless of temperature, it does not freeze. The top coat may freeze and you might get an ice shelf, but underneath it won't. But check this out. Not bad, right? So like I said, this is the first waterfall. It's about a mile in, roughly. And the cool thing about this particular trail is to get to this waterfall, it's actually really smooth, and you can even get in here if you're in a wheelchair or any type of motorized scooter. But I figured I'd show it to you and show you the lagoon down there at the bottom. We're probably gonna hike up a little bit more and maybe check out one more waterfall, but I'm not gonna promise you guys anything. If I decide to go to another one, I'll show it to you on the video, but I'll show you some of the conditions in here. As you can see, this is literally all the snow we have up here in Montana, and this is actually really shallow. You shouldn't be able to really see any of this stuff. It should all be covered in snow. So just to give you an idea, I mean, we're really warm and really dry this year, which is not good. It's gonna make it a really bad fire season. But now that I'm done showing you this, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I'll show you a little bit of the trail. And then after that, I'll show you the trail on the way out, and I'll show you the trailhead sign and the parking lot. All right, so you guys take care. I'll see you next time. Now, when you're hiking into this place, the trail does split, and it splits about 100 yards before you even come out to this waterfall. You can either go down trail number 427, which will take you all the way up and bypass Grotto Falls, which I just showed you, or you can go to Grotto Falls. But you see that picnic table down there? That picnic table is where the trail comes in. So when you leave, you basically keep going straight where I'm going right now, and it'll lead you back up to 427. And as you can see, just for the sake of elevation, it's not that bad. It's actually a really easy trail to hike. So, you know, if you were looking for a mild hike with beautiful scenery, this is definitely one of them. But also keep in mind, it is a quite long trail and it takes a while. So make sure you plan a whole day for this. And if you're not used to hiking in the winter, I wouldn't try to push it and go too far, okay? Just, you know, chill at the bottom waterfall and just enjoy it, because winter hiking can get tough. And most people sweat too much and they end up freezing. So anyway, we're gonna continue hiking this trail because as you can see, it basically just goes right up into the trees over here, and I'll show you the junction here in a second. Well, I honestly say that you gotta make sure that you have your water with you, by the way. And if you're running a bladder like you see mine, don't use it in the wintertime. You could freeze your lines, they might bust. But remember that 511 pack that I found at the thrift store? Well, there it is. I got it all rigged up. Weighs about 28 pounds with all the gear and stuff in it. And then that other one that we found for my wife, she's feeling the bag weight right now. See what I mean?
I'm reliving the days of 180 pounds. I can't remember the days of weighing over 300, even though I did. And honestly, I don't miss either one.
Right? So, but as you can see, we got her peg retrofit too.
And I'm coming in at right around 26 pounds, so not much lighter than what he's packing.
Pretty much. And I weigh about 199.4 or 5 or something like that without any of my gear on. So I'm pushing roughly about 240 pounds max right now, which is a little tiring, but we're making it.
Onward and upward.
Anyway, I'm used to this kind of stuff. She's not. I'm trying to break her in, you know what I mean? But anyway, I told you I would show you the intersection, and here it is. So, Trail 427 comes up that way, and then it continues that way right there. And if you're looking at the terrain really, really closely, you can tell it's pretty rocky and rugged. And then here is the sign to let you know where you're at and what trails are what. So you've got 427 that goes up the mountain. You have 332, which is what we just came up, which comes from Grotto Falls. And then it tells you the distance. Grotto Falls, 0.25, so it's literally a quarter mile, okay? Now we are going to try and make it to one more waterfall today before it gets dark, because in the wintertime it gets dark quicker up here in Montana and we don't feel like walking at night. So we're gonna push on, and I'll see you guys in a second. Now I figured I'd show you this because this is a waterfall that's a twin cascade, and you can literally only see it when you're hiking on the trail. The trail actually doesn't wind up to it. So this is one of the 7, okay? So you're probably gonna get to see 3 waterfalls in this video. But right back there through the trees, and I know it's impossible for you to see, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the camera around and see if I can zoom in so that you get a really good look at it, all right? Look for the glacier blue wall. There it is, right there. That's the other waterfall, so you literally get a glimpse of it on the trail as you're hiking, and that's one of the best views you get at it. That's pretty cool, huh? So anyway, we're gonna keep hiking the trail. Our next waterfall up here, I believe, is called Arch Falls, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've hiked this trail, but we'll make it up to that one, and then we're gonna go ahead and turn around and head back, and I'll show you what the trailhead sign looks like and what the trail looks like on the bottom when you actually come in from the parking lot. And you'd be totally surprised, especially when you're looking at something like this and what we were looking at before. You'd be like, wait a minute, is that the same trail? But yeah, it is. All right, so I'll see you guys in a sec. I'm gonna keep trucking on. How's that bag weight treating you?
I'm surviving, and I'm glad I don't weigh 180 pounds anymore.
Well, it took her a second to get used to the bag weight, but she's doing pretty well. You can see how big her bag is, and mine is about the same. So, like I said, they are fully packed with gear and everything that you possibly need in case you got stuck in an environment like this and you needed to survive. All right? Maybe I'll show you what's in my pack in another video, but I'm definitely not going to do it out here, okay? So anyway, just hiking the trail. I'll see you guys in a second. Well, if anybody was having a hard time having some Christmas cheer, I can definitely tell you right now, you would get it if you were to hike a trail up in the mountains right now. Check out where the trail goes behind me. Isn't that cool? So anyway, we had to stop for a second because I smelt an animal. Now, a lot of the times when you're out hiking in the middle of nowhere, there's a thing called sills. You want to stop, look, listen, and smell, okay? Now, I caught a whiff of its musky odor as we were coming up the trail, and I decided to stop because usually either one bear, and it's got to be a big bear, smells really, really nasty and musty, or it's usually a couple of elk or a couple of moose. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, what do you mean bear? Well, to be completely honest, bears will not hibernate if they have an accurate food source. They only go into hibernation because they know that the food sources go away for the most part, and they don't want to expend the energy in the wintertime to only hunt down protein, you know, like meat and stuff, deer, elk, stuff like that. But you also have to take into consideration, one of the things that helps them go to sleep is temperature. And we haven't had that many of our sub-zero temperatures like we normally do. We've actually been up 30s and 40s, and in some cases 50s. So this is one of those things where you might just come across a bear because the winter has not been cold enough and the vegetation is not buried. And because the vegetation isn't buried, that means there's still a lot of animals up here. I'm seeing tracks all over the place on the side of the trail that aren't from dogs. So just to give you a little heads up on that. And hopefully we should be coming up to this waterfall pretty soon. So I'll queue up when we do, all right? I'll see you guys in a sec. And if you haven't subscribed yet, well, you can always do it now. I'm not gonna twist your arm over it. Everybody else is desperate for subscribers. I figure if you think my content is worth it, hit that button. Plus, you'll get to see me put her through a lot more of this kind of stuff. Cause you know, gotta whip her into shape.
I'm a trooper, it's okay. We can do it.
Yeah, you guys hear that? So, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so we can put her to the test, all right? I'll see you in a sec. You gonna live?
I'll survive.
All right. I'll tell you, some of the views around here are awesome. I'll flip the camera around, check this one out. Pretty cool, huh? And no, that's not the same waterfall. That's just the snow melt as it's melting during the daytime on full sun and freezing as it tries to cascade off of that cliffside. We are surrounded by nothing but rock. There's a little bit of topsoil up here, but not much. So, you know, after all, that's why they call it the Rockies. But anyway, I hear it, so we must be getting close to the waterfall. And the wife is still surviving. Well, maybe barely. She'll be able to do this by the time I'm done. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a second. We should be coming up to this next waterfall soon. How you doing?
Surviving.
You want to get some water here, Brandon, in a minute?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, it looks like she made it.
Follow your sign.
Right, literally right after I shut the camera off. So this is in fact Arch Falls. It's really, really cool. I definitely recommend you come take a look at it in the summertime. It's a waterfall that cascades down through a natural eroded arch. I don't know how well we're gonna be able to see it right now, but I am gonna get down to a somewhat safe location and show you, because as you can see, it's all cliffed out right here. It's literally just a viewpoint. A lot of these are really dangerous, so you gotta be careful. So, and then this will be as far as we're gonna go because the sun is literally right there. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which means in another 2 hours, it's gonna be getting dark. And I'd like to be able to not only get off this trail, but I'd like to be able to drive out of this canyon before it gets dark, because the roads are really slick because they've been packed down and turned into sheer ice. So anyway, let me get into a good spot and I'll flip the camera around and show it to you. This is just to give you an idea of the traversing that I have to do just to get over to this waterfall. As you can see, that's a cliff. It's literally only this wide, both in the summertime and the wintertime. So you got to be very, very careful. Make sure you got good footing, or make sure that you are running some type of yak track or some type of foot cleat so that you don't slip, because you can see how wide the trail is. Not very wide at all. So anyway, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see this. So that right there is the Western Rock Wall. Okay, and the waterfall is right in there, so I'm going to back up here for a second because I wanted to be able to show you the west wall. And there's the waterfall right there. You can see the arch right there, and if you go up and around, you can get to the other portion of it, but I might not do that. So as you can see, it's not fully frozen. at least where it's not cascading over the arch anyway. But this is something that is really cool. That rock arch right there is totally awesome. The waterfall cascades coming around the corner and drops down right in there. And then I showed you the west wall. Now, there isn't any waterfalls or nothing on the west wall. It's literally just this one. And in the springtime, this thing is raging. I haven't seen it personally, but I heard you can't even see the arch on a high flow year. But I figured I'd show you that. You can't really get down to the bottom in the wintertime. In the summertime, you might be able to. So just to let you guys know, I mean, as that right there, I am totally cliffed out. I am about 50 feet, if not a full 60 feet above where that creek is, okay? And literally, it is a 60-degree slope right here where my tip of my finger is pointing to, and then it goes complete 90 vertical. So you really got to be careful. And as you can see, the trail dead ends right here. You don't want to go any farther because it's totally unsafe. But I figured I would show this to you. I'm going to work back around to where my wife is, and if I get to show you the top, I get to show you the top. But if not, it's just mystery for you to come see later on. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here down this narrow little trail right here and see how my wife's doing, because apparently she took the high road.
And I got to Scotland before him.
Such a cheater. I know, she's like totally bypassing all the hard stuff. So it looks like we're gonna have to put her some more hard tests, okay? So like I said, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more, all right? I'll see you later. Well, I went ahead and worked my way around the top just to show you, just so that you didn't feel like I was robbing you about anything, okay? Now, like I said, this is a lot easier to see in the summertime, and it's a lot cooler to see in the summertime, unless you really love winter hiking in a winter wonderland. Now, keep in mind, it is cold, all right? So make sure you dress accordingly, and sweat is your ultimate enemy, so don't overdress, okay? But I am standing literally in the middle of the creek, and that is the uphill side of the creek. Now, I'm on a giant boulder, so I know I'm safe. The water actually goes right through here, just like that. And then this is the head of the waterfall that goes into the arch, as you can see right there. So it's actually pretty cool. And if you love views, this place has got some really awesome views. So I just figured I'd share that with you. I'll give you an idea how far I actually had to come down. You see where my wife's at up there? Yeah, she looks like she appreciates life not having to walk. At least not with that heavy pack. But we still got to get out of here. Oh, man. But anyway, I figured I'd show you this so that you can see it. I'll do another video on this hiking trail probably next summer when we hike the whole thing, if we decide to hike the whole thing all the way up to the lake. But in the meantime, the next portion of the video is going to show you the trail that you come up when you come out of the parking lot, what the parking lot looks like, and the sign, and we'll give you some information on the sign, okay? So I will see you guys later, and if you want to end the video right here, go for it, because you won't be missing out on much except for information, all right? So like I said before, well, you know what to do. Just don't forget your notification bell, and try to share it with a friend, because some of the stuff that I do is worth sharing to the world. A lot of it's really cool to look at, and a lot of it's got a lot of high quality information you don't want to miss, all right? So you guys take care, and I will see you later. Well, we're almost out of here. She's doing pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. A lot better than I thought she would, considering she's carrying almost 30 pounds of extra weight. But I figured I would show you this real quick, because this is actually the marker that you get to that will decide whether you pass Grotto Falls or not, okay? So there it is right there. I'll bring you in a little closer. So as you can see, Highlight Creek Trailhead is 427 and Grotto Falls is 432, okay? Now, we hiked all the way up to Arch Falls, which was 2.1 miles from the parking lot. So just to give you an idea. And like I said about the trail, you can see how wide it is right there and how narrow it is right up there. And I'm going to put you behind me. This is the way out right here. You can see how wide this trail actually is. I'll just go right up over my head. I mean, you can pretty much like almost take a four-wheeler or a side-by-side up this primary trail to go to Grotto Falls. because it's literally that wide. So we're gonna finish getting out of here, and then I'll show you the trailhead marker plaque that gives you all the information out at the parking lot, and then we're done for the day. All right, so you guys take care. I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like on it. I'd really appreciate it. All right, so I'll see you in a bit. Well, she managed to make it in and out. So
Just over 4 miles.
just over 4 miles with an additional 30 pounds. So we're right here at the beginning of the trail access, and you can see how wide this thing is. I mean, you can almost drive a car up it, although I wouldn't, because that's breaking the law. But I figured I would go ahead and show you the information plaque. So go ahead and pause the video and read that stuff if you choose to. If not, at least you know what to read when you get here. And then they've got their map to let you know where everything's at. And then also keep in mind, with a lot of trails in Montana, they are multi-use, okay? So you will see signs like this, because this particular trail allows foot traffic, hiking, horseback riding, mountain biking, and dirt biking, okay? So just keep that kind of stuff in mind when you're hiking these trails. And you know, right away is to the lowest on the totem pole. So if you're on a dirt bike and somebody's on a horse, the dirt bike has to stop. If somebody's hiking on foot or riding a mountain bike and there's a horse, the horse has to stop, okay? In most cases, not always. A lot of the times everybody has to yield to a horseman more than anything, okay? Because horses are very easily spooked. So it's just better just to yield to them at all times. As far as the rest of them, mountain biking and dirt biking and stuff like that, whatever goes higher up, whatever's below it, it's better off to yield to, okay? Now, most of the time if you're seeing hikers, just for the sake of not running them over, if you're on a dirt bike, you stop anyway. But I figured I'd show you this so that you know. And, you know, you can also see that it is opened year round. A lot of our trails are open year round, and some of them aren't. So make sure you do your research so you don't end up getting stuck in an area that you can't get out of. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And you can see the reservoir is down here on this map. And then you can go all the way up. It tells you all the lakes and all that stuff, all the different trail numbers and everything else. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and get this 30+ pound pack off and head back to the house. So you guys take care, and I'll see you later.